Python versus Java, Scala, and R. Previously, we studied some applications of Python. Now let's compare it to languages like Java, Scala, and R. Python versus Java first. Let's talk about the syntax. In Java, each statement must end with a semicolon. In Python, you can do without it. Although if you must put more than one statement in a line, you need it. To define blocks in Java, we use curly braces. But to define them in Python, indentation is mandatory. This also makes the code more readable. In Java, we use parentheses with print statements and if statements. If we talk about Python 3, parentheses are mandatory only with a call to the print statement. Java has built-in multi-line comments, but Python does not. So we can use multiple single-line comments instead. Python is dynamically typed. It follows the principle of duck typing. And Java is statically typed. You must declare the type of a variable when defining it. Java is verbose. It takes many more lines of code than does Python. Python is much more concise and so is more productive as you can focus on getting things done instead of spending your time on the trivial things. Python is interpreted and slower than Java. This is also because the types are assumed at runtime. So this is overhead for the interpreter at runtime. Both Python and Java are portable and run on different machines for the same code. The database access layers of Python are weaker than those of Java. Java is simple and easy, but Python is simple, concise, and readable. It is also used to introduce students in schools and universities to programming. Python has a better learning curve. Python has distributed support, a large community largely keen on its growth, and Java has one large corporate sponsor. Both appear in the top 3 positions on the TIRB index as of March 2019. Python is used for everything from data science, machine learning, AI and robotics, and computer vision to web scraping, data analysis, scripting, and scientific computing. Java is good for application servers, web, mobile, and desktop applications, IoT, and much more. It is best for embedded and cross-platform applications. While Python is better for number crunching, Java is better for general programming. Python has many popular frameworks like Django, Web2Py, Flask, Bottle, Pyramid, and Pylons. Java has Spring, Hibernate, Struts, Play, and many more. Now let's compare Python and Scala. Python is interpreted and dynamically typed. Scala uses the JVM and is often over 10 times faster than Python. But Python is much simpler compared to Scala, which can be a little difficult to grasp for a beginner. Python reads a bit like English. Scala, however, is better for building concurrent and scalable systems. That said, Scala has a range of asynchronous libraries and reactive cores. It also supports true multithreading. This makes it great for concurrency. Python, even though it does support heavyweight process poking, only lets one thread be active at a time. This makes for memory overhead as more processes need to be restarted every time new code is deployed. Python is dynamically typed and follows duck typing. This makes it easier on the programmers and slower at runtime. Scala is statically typed. Refactoring code in Scala is much easier and Scala is better for larger products compared to Python. Scala is less verbose than Java, but definitely nowhere close to as concise as Python. Python is more user-friendly and productive. Scala has many advanced features like existential types, macros, and implicits, along with multiple frameworks and libraries. But its syntax can make it difficult to experiment with these features. Python, on the other hand, is great for data science, machine learning, and NLP. And now let's compare it to R. R has a steeper learning curve. Python is much easier to learn and is more readable and productive. Python is great for beginners and professionals. R can take twice as long to load CSV data than pandas with Python. While Python is great for building something from scratch, R makes it easy to use complex formulas and tests and models. R has many packages and tests and is great for basic data analysis without packages. Python initially struggled with this, but the updates to NumPy and pandas have improved the situation. R has packages like ggplot2 and Python has Seaborn and Bouquet for visualization. Both the languages are very popular and promise exciting job opportunities, although Python fares slightly better at job trends. They also have large online communities, Python larger than R. And with this, we end our discussion on the comparison. Next, let's talk about the different implementations of Python.